Yes, sir, you know what it is. Fresh with the chin strap. That means I messed up shaving today. But I had to look pretty for you guys because we got our Lightsworns. We got our Lightsworns. We got our Lightsworns. Oh my goodness, yeah, that's what it is. That's what it looks like because we got our Lightsworns, boys. This is the new support. I'm psyched. We've been playing Lightsworns nonstop since we got competitive into this game. Ever since, you know, I was paying, what was it, $8 to $10 for an electromagnetic turtle to stop my opponent's battle phase so I could come back and smack him the next turn. Back when I was playing Edge Imp Sabers so I could take my wolf from my hand, put it on top of my deck, special summon Edge Imp Sabers to overlay with, I don't know, Illumina, I don't know, a Minerva, overlay that, make that Dante, mill 3, bring out that frickin' wolf. There you go, 2,500 from your Dante, 2,100 from your wolf, whatever else you mill, plus whatever else you had. You know you're going for game every turn, just the spice. But guess what? There's one of these cards that you don't even need to do that Edge Imp Saber trick. I didn't even get to teach you. I didn't even get big enough. I didn't even get to top to teach you guys that. To teach you that trick. Because there's a card now that does it. And I'm going to show you guys. Check the market watches for all the Lightsworn cards. If you guys aren't playing Lightsworn, by the time we get these cards, we'll probably have reprints. So just flip them bad boys. You know, keep that copy or two for yourself of that Punishment Dragon and stuff like that. But $15 for an ultra rare. Get rid of them bad boys. Also, we'll get to that in a second. Anyways, what you guys been waiting for? Enough of the little juicy. This is what you guys been waiting for. So, you got your Dragoon of Light Road, Dragon of Lightsworn, whatever they want to call it, you know, it's always something different. 1,500 attack, 1,300 defense. You guys remember Lightsworn Saber? I believe it's mill and attached to one of your Lightsworns, so that's 700 boost. So this potentially 22, depending how pure you want to play these Lightsworns. You know, well, Lightsworn God. Anything Lightsworn, if you guys need to know. Also, anyways, if you have a Lightsworn monster in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. So this is an extender. If you guys play DDDs, or you guys familiar with the channel, I play DDDs, and I've been trying to make them nice and meta. Also, I've been trying to test a little bit of Lightsworn DDD action. But I digress. With this card, it has given me those vibes with the 3 different effects of, what's the DDD card? Griffin? If you guys know DDD Griffin, that's what this card is giving me the vibes of, with the 3 different effects. So it's an extender. If you normal summon your Raiden, your opponent, you know, negates and destroys, barons it, whatever, you can activate this, to special summon this from your hand if you have a Lightsworn in your graveyard, so it's a nice extender. Its second effect, if this card is special summoned, you can send 1 Lightsworn card from your deck to the graveyard. So basically, you special summon it from your hand, you could send a wolf or a fleece, and boom, you have a Minerva for a link. You have like a level 8 synchro. So we'll get into that in a little bit. So if this card is sent to your graveyard, you could add 1 dragon monster with 3,000 attack, 2,600 defense, which I believe is both Punishment Dragon and Judgment Dragon. So yeah, this is going to search either one of those just by being milled or ditched from your hand. So nice little tech choice, dangers. Anyways, your other level 4 light monster, it's a fiend, but it's a tuner. It's a bad boy. So we got a new tuner. So you got, for level 4 tuners in this deck, and if you splash some bystials in this, you're making Chaos Angel, you're making Baron left, right, and center, bad boy. So yeah, you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can place 1 other Lightsworn card from your hand to the top of the deck, special summon this card from your hand. What? That is Edge Imp Saber's effect. That's what I used Edge Imp Saber for. But you don't even have to go into no Dante. You don't even have to go into a Minerva because this has the built-in send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard. You literally special summon this card from your hand by placing a wolf or a felice on top of your deck, and then you mill it. Oh, too nice. So if this card is sent from the deck to the graveyard, you can target one Lightsworn monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Now, that doesn't say a level. So if you have... this is gross. If you have Judgment Dragon, that synchro, that level 8 synchro, Enlightenment, Twilight, I forget whatever it's called. You'll see on the screen. Or if you have Michael, that's crazy. You could, if you mill this, you special summon a Michael that got destroyed earlier in the game. Like, the resurgence of this deck now is crazy, and the fact that you can unbrick your hands with Solar Recharge, Charge the Light Brigade, some of the strongest spells in this game that are not nerfed or hit on the ban list. The firepower in this deck is absolutely insane. And with this deck, now that it banishes and has this whole other aspect where it's really trying to pull, you'll see, where it's really trying to pull on the Punishment Dragon side to this. Just endless opportunities. Next up, Enlightenment Dragoon. I was going to say Dragoon because they're right beside each other. I don't know which one's going to be which. I like Dragoon. Keep them Dragoons. Level 10 Light Dragon Fusion Effect Monster. So, it's a JD and a Punishment Dragon. Must be special summoned by banishing the above cards from your field and graveyard. One from each. So, either have a Punishment Dragon or a JD on your field, and then have the other one in your graveyard. I would probably just play one Punishment Dragon in my deck, honestly. For this effect to be able to do this, but honestly it's not end all be all. But what this card does, it is a nice board wipe. Once per turn, quick effect, you can pay 2,000 life points, banish all other cards on the field and in the graveyards. Paying 2,000 life points, I love playing Punishment and Dragon with my Lightsworns. So with your Michael, with your JD, and now with this card, with your Punishment Dragon, you're paying a lot of life points. So just keep that in mind. Once per turn during your end phase, send the top 4 cards of your deck to the graveyard. So it's a nice mill 4, just like the other dragons. If this card is destroyed by your opponent, you can add one of each of your banished Judgment Dragons and Punishment Dragons to your hand. Then you can special summon both, ignoring their summoning conditions. So basically, if it's popped and your opponent's not paying attention, it has a floating effect. Minerva, also if you know the XYZ Minerva, when it's popped, it gets to mill 3 and then destroy cards and etc. So I've noticed that they're starting to get some nice floating effects. Let's go with that. They're starting to get some nice floating effects throughout the deck. Next up, we have Minerva Lightsworn Athena. So this is the Synchro Minerva, which is nice. It's a level 8 light fairy. Materials, 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner monsters. You can only use the first and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. So if this card is synchro summoned, you can send 1 Lightsworn monster or Lightsworn monsters with different types from your deck to the graveyard up to the number of Lightsworn monsters used as material for this card, which for its summon, which will most likely be 2. But like, let's say you did Lumina, Minerva, and a Raikou or whatever, you could possibly be using 3. Very rare though. The second effect, Lightsworn monsters you control cannot be banished by card effects, which is nice. When you're playing against a lot of decks, you know, D-Shifter and all those tech cards, those are the ones that are going to be sided against you. So it's nice to have that nice little tech in there. Especially paired with a Chaos Angel, like that could be deadly. And its third effect, you can banish up to 4 Lightsworn monsters from your graveyard, send that many cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. So that's pretty sweet. Banish 4 Lightsworns and mill 4. Probably won't want to do that all the time, but it's there if you need it. This will probably be either a 1 or a 3 of. I can't really put my finger on it yet. So this is the trap, Lightsworn Aegeus, or whatever, however you want to pronounce that. I'm sure I slaughtered it. But it's a normal trap card. Its second effect is if this card is milled, you can set it. So that's really nice, and it has the effect as the other trap card that we got a couple years ago in the Lightsworn deal that they did, you know, tempting us, tried to make it seem like they were giving us support, but just got our hopes up. Anyways, so this trap card, you can set it once it's milled, and its effect is target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Lightsworn monsters you control, and negate their effects until the end of this turn. Now, if you're playing a pure, or let's say you're playing a pure Lightsworn build, you might be tempted to play maybe 2 to 3 of these, at least one of these. If you're not playing a pure Lightsworn build, you're probably just using Lightsworns as an engine to build up. You're not going to probably even be using these extra deck monsters. You're probably just using it as a rank 4 and just kind of a spam, material spam for links and ranks and synchros, and just beat down. You're probably not always ending with multiple Lightsworns. So it's kind of like that tier element effect, where if you're not landing with a bunch of tier elements, once they wipe that one tier element, the effect isn't, like with Solic, the effect isn't as live or effective. So yeah, if you're playing a pure build, 1 to 3, easily. But if you're not playing a pure build, I probably wouldn't even bother. Maybe 1. But yeah, probably not. Probably not, to be honest. But yeah, so that's it. That's it for the new cards. We're going to go through, if you guys see, I'll have another video up in a little bit, all the different tech choices. So a lot of what I explained to you guys during this video will be in the next video, broken down a little bit more, all the different tech choices you could use, and you could see going up in prices while we wait for these cards to come out. So like I said, keep an eye on the market, flip those cards if you can, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.